URL params down the road. Any other questions? All right, so if you're having trouble right now, then just go ahead and like tilt your screens down or whatever, and you'll have plenty of opportunity to catch up later on. Okay, so this is like the most basic level of an Express app. It doesn't really do a whole lot, but like this is actually what I used to make a Slack bot. I did it in Express exactly like this. I don't need HTML or all that stuff because it's a Slack bot. What's it going to do with HTML? So it was pretty much just like this. So this is like the simplest version of an app that you can have. Every Express app is going to start off almost exactly like this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start getting some HTML in here. And we're going to use handlebars. What is handlebars? Anyone remind me? Matt? Yeah, exactly. So Angular uses handlebars, and Express can also use handlebars. You don't have to use handlebars. There are other things, but we're going to be using handlebars. So I'm going to add it to my package.json, npm install -- save express handlebars. All right, and then pretty much any time you npm install something, you're gonna require it somewhere in here. So I'm gonna require handlebars. I'm just gonna call it HBS because handlebars is too long to write. And it's going to look inside this node modules folder for Express handlebars. And there it is. Okay. So the next thing is going to be making handlebars actually do something. I'm going to create a folder called views. Oops. And inside it, I'm going to put a file called layout-main.hbs. HBS, that's just an abbreviation for handlebars. And then inside here, I'm going to put some boilerplate HTML. HTML, head, title, when president, body. Bless you. And then I've got this guy, this body with 3 curlies. Anyone want to take a guess at what this body is like in the Rails world? What the equivalent of this is in Rails? Matt? Yield. Exactly. This is Express's equivalent of yield, this guy. Okay, so there's that, and then I'm going to also make some HTML to put inside that. I'm going to make another folder called app welcome.hbs. And then I'm going to say, which candidate would you choose? Okay, so this doesn't do anything yet. There's no way of actually seeing this in here. I've created these files. Now I need to tell Express to actually use those files, actually do something with it. So I've installed handlebars. I've made the files. Now I'm going to configure handlebars to use those files. So that's this next step where there is kind of a lot of boilerplate stuff that we're going to put in here. I'm going to say app.set view engine HBS. And I'm going to walk through writing all this boilerplate stuff, and then we'll look at what it all does afterwards. Xname.hbs, partials dir views, layouts dir views, default layout, layout-main. And then the last thing is, instead of res.send hello world, I'm going to comment that out, and I'm going to do res.render. So we've seen res.send, now I'm doing res.render. I'm going to put app welcome in there, and then I should see when president in here. And there it is. And if I look in here, I can see I have the HTML of my layout with the HTML of that partial view inserted into it. Okay, so now let's take a look at how I actually configured this thing. So every Express app can have something called a view engine. And that's like, so there are other alternatives to handlebars. I don't really know of any, but I know they're out there. So if you were to use that, you could specify that in here. Which of those different view things you're using, which of those different syntaxes. Then in here, this .hbs, so this is telling it to use handlebars. And any thoughts as to what that ext name, well, first off, what does that stand for? Ext name. Christine?
Extension name.
Yeah, extension name. So it's saying look for files that end in .hbs. And then look for them in this views folder. Look for any layouts, also in the views folder. And then just by default, use this layout that we've called layout.main. So it doesn't have to be layout.main. I can rename this to whatever I want. But I'm just calling it layout.main here. So this is how you set it up. And then it automatically knows to look inside this views folder and then look at all this stuff. If I change the name of the views folder to Wombat, so it was a Wombat folder, what on this page would I change? Yeah. Yep, exactly. I would change partials dir and layouts dir. I would change that to Wombat /. All right. Let's see. Is there a next step on here? Nope, that's it. Okay, so you guys go ahead and do this step, and then we'll bring you back to questions after that. I'll give you another, let's say, 7 minutes for this.